Hi, and welcome to Terry Talks Movies. This time around, I'm going on another road trip, but it's a road trip with a bit of a difference because this time I'm heading to the zoo. Heading to Werribee Open Range Zoo, which isn't that far from my place. But in order to get there, I have to wrestle through school traffic. The traffic we have when people are dropping their kids off at school. Didn't used to happen when I was a kid because people would just let their kids free range it to school, but times change, and so we've got lollipop people, as you can see there, the lollipop man, who helped the kids cross the roads in order to get to school. My father-in-law used to be a lollipop man before he retired from the gig, and every year he'd end up with like a cupboard full of chocolates from all of the little school kids that he helped cross the road, who their parents would buy them Christmas presents for the lollipop man. So Peter would get a shit ton of alcohol and chocolates every year. So lollipop people make out really well in the scheme of things, and it's a very socially progressive thing that they do to basically keep children safe. They're hired by the local council. They get a little bit of a stipend to do it, and it's a lot of fun for the kids too if they have a decent lollipop person. There have been grumpy ones. So we're now heading through Hoppers Crossing towards Werribee. We skirt the edge of Werribee, and we end up going out into the market garden area where the zoo is. Now, people might remember from the previous videos that I went through the market garden areas, and that's one of the cooler places around where I live. But we're going to do a turn off, and we're going to go to the zoo. Now, the zoo opens in about half an hour, so I'm going to sit in the car park and just check my social media when that happens. And then you and I will go to the zoo and see what animals are there. I've got about 4 different cameras I can use for this. I've got this rugged little Panasonic sitting on the dashboard for the trip there. I've got an Osmo Pocket first generation. I've got my phone. I've also got my Sony ZV-1 vlogging camera. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do and how I'm going to arrange things with the videoing, but I wanted to do something a bit different for the channel, and this is it. And of course, the people who are channel members and Patreon supporters get to see this before anybody else does. I'm actually saving up my pennies to get a Osmo Pocket 3, the new vlogging camera from Osmo, from DJI, sorry, and they are game-changing cameras. I can use them for everything I need to do, and so they're about $1,000 Australian. So if you want to contribute to the channel, please do. If you are already contributing to the channel, you're helping with that. But yeah, there's just such real progress in the kinds of cameras available to people who do content, if they've got the money, of course. See, the flowers are coming up for springtime here. The temperature, according to the vehicle, is 14 degrees. They reckon it's going to rain today, but I don't reckon it's going to rain before I get through the zoo. So, yep, we're heading towards Werribee now. And I know that for some people this is a really exotic trip. And seeing all of this stuff is crazily exotic. For me, it's very prosaic, but that's how it goes. That's one of the wonderful things about the internationality of social media these days. We can see the things that people find normal and people find kind of everyday. And to be honest with you, they really are different. And I love that. I love seeing what people in Japan see as everyday, people in Europe, people in North America, people all over the place have very different viewpoints on the world. And we more than ever before, we've got the ability to see and appreciate that and to share it with others, which is the grooviest thing. That share economy is something that I find really, really wonderful about social media. And people talk about the perils of social media, and to be honest with you, they exist. It's really interesting. So yep, now we're heading across the bridge, and I'm going to cut a right here and then a left, and we'll get over the bridge and into the market garden area. So yep, we're heading into Werribee now, and Werribee is the big regional centre here. As much as anything is, it's a very expanding area. There's lots of suburbs going up, and so Werribee's less central, but it is a kind of administrative area. Very old colonial town, so that's why they've got lots of trees fully grown rather than the stunted things we normally have at other places. So yep, new holiday in there, which is kind of unusual, but on the other side of it, it's got a great big painting, a mural on the other side of that, of Bunjil, the indigenous kind of deity. A great big eagle is on the other side of that building, and I should show it to you one day, but I can't show it to you this time. But there's a lot more embracing and a lot more acceptance and incorporation of indigenous names and indigenous things into Australian culture these days, which is really good. In fact, the name Werribee means spine, because the river curves like a spine around the town. So the local Wadawurrung people named the place Werribee, which is kind of cool, because it's a little bit of a not the most wealthy area in Melbourne, and so the idea that the area is named Spine, which means that the people and the culture here have a backbone, is kind of an interesting thing. So just waiting to go around the corner as always. There's a couple of good charity stores up here too that I really should visit again. So round we go. Werribee South 10 kilometres, we're not going that far. And we do have to go past a school here, so traffic's going to be a bit much. But once we're past that, it's pretty much an easy drive all the way to the zoo. Yeah, if I could avoid it, I would have avoided going past all these schools during drop-off hours, because it's a pain in the ass. Nonetheless, with the zoo opening in about 23 minutes, it's much, much better that I do it now than try to find my way through hordes of school children. See, school children is the theme for this video, because not only do I have the school children drop-off problem here, I've got the possibility... Get going here, bloody wanker. I've got the problem of the possibility of lots of school excursions to the zoo happening as I head into the zoo. This is going to be a fascinating bit, just watching me crawl ahead as everybody tries to drop their kids off. By the way, I don't have the camera facing me on this trip because I didn't charge up the GoPros to clip onto the windshield. So you're going to have to just make do with the views and my dulcet tones. And there's always one, isn't there? Breaking in, not indicating, and being a total onanist. And it's invariably a man. This is taking forever. I want to get to the zoo. I may cut out these slow bits or just fast forward them, because not a lot going on here. See how they indicate just up before they come over rather than giving anybody a warning that they're coming over? I hate people that do that. I think they should be taxed extra. Let's see, lollipop person there as well. I'm just waiting for a... There we go. They're going to let the kids go across. None of whom look particularly enthusiastic about not being educated, but then who did at that age? There's so much going on in your life that education is way down the charts of what you want to have happening, particularly in an age when you've got an immense amount of media you can consume. I reckon if I was their age, I would be deeply into anime and manga. I would be one of those otaku kids who watched all of One Piece because I was into Japanese anime in the 1960s. There wasn't a lot of it there. There was Prince Planet, there was Astro Boy, there was Speed Racer, there was Marine Boy, and that was pretty much it. Oh yeah, there was also Princess Knight and the Amazing Three, but there wasn't a lot. And that is now not the case. Now there's an immense amount of manga. Anime. Nobody can watch all the anime in the world these days. In fact, there are Japanese YouTubers and English language YouTubers in Japan who try to keep up with all of the latest anime, and they just can't do it because there's just so much really creative stuff coming out at the moment with in Japan and also in South Korea and a few other places are starting to do some really interesting anime as well. But yeah, I would definitely have been one of those kids were I of that age. And had I parents that cared about me, which unfortunately I wasn't able to access that when I was a kid, they would be worried about me because I'd be watching so much anime. And I'd probably be watching horror movies as well. And of course, the more adult sides, if I was at the blossoming of puberty. But now we're going to turn off right onto K Road here, and that will take us towards the zoo rather than along the waterfront or along the market gardens. So we're going to head down here and just head up to the zoo. Let's see, how long does that take? 14 minutes. So conservatively, when the traffic is heavy, it's only about 15 to 20 minutes to get to the zoo from our place, which is very groovy. And I've also got an annual zoo pass, which doesn't cost me a lot of money really, and I get to go to all 4 zoos that are in the state of Victoria. There's one up near the border, which is about 250 kilometres away. There's the Melbourne Zoo, which is close to the city. There's also Healesville Animal Sanctuary out in the east in the mountains. And there's this one. This is the only one we've actually gone to so far. But technically, every year when we get our annual passes, we can go to any one of the 4 zoos and just enjoy them for no extra cost, which I really like. And also supports the zoo. It supports all the zoos. They're doing a lot of stuff with preserving endangered species and a lot of stuff with Australian native species as well. It's a good thing to do. They give us an annual calendar and a monthly magazine and things like that. So it's all a little bit useful to have those particular memberships. So we're now heading along K Road into the market garden area through the back way. And this K Road parallels the Werribee River, which we're not going to see on this trip, but is really interesting. I should actually take a walk along K Cliffs and do a video about it because it's a very interesting area. Now let's see, is this where I've got to turn into the zoo? Yes, it is. So I've got to go in here to Werribee Open Range Zoo. Now there's going to be a lot of speed bumps along here, so just prepare your point of view from being a bit jiggly. And over to the left, there is the Melbourne Equestrian Centre, which when there are big horse races on, like the Melbourne Cup and other things, all of the horses are bedded down there before the races and do a bit of training there. They also do kind of steeple chasing horses. I think they may well also do polo there for the rich people. But yeah, we're just going along this long windy road that heads up to the zoo. And what I will do when I get there, because I am a little bit early, I will kind of have a hiatus on the video and the audio until I get into the zoo. I may show you a little bit of the entrance, but we'll do a bit of that. We hopefully will see some gorillas and some lions, and maybe a rhino or two, definitely a hippopotami, a few Australian animals as well. And I'll go on the bus that takes you through the animal areas as well. So we're going to do a bit of stuff today, which is a lot of fun. I haven't done this for about maybe a year or so. We had the memberships, and we've got the memberships going, but I haven't actually used them in way too long. And this is the way into the zoo. Up, if you go the other way, you go into Werribee Mansion, which is this antique mansion where you can dine very well. I'm going to go to the giraffe car park because that's the easiest one to access. And yeah, we went there for dinner with some friends. Geez, the food is fantastic there. It is next level good food. Very posh, very gourmet, very kind of bespoke. And there are a few places. There's a winery along here called Chillout, which also does fantastic but expensive food. And I got taken there for my birthday, and just the food blew me away. It cost a fortune, but it blew me away. So I'm going to park here in the car park, bump again, and then we're going to go to the zoo. Vehicles parked at the owner's risk. I think that's in case some kind of animal attacks them. So I'm going to park here, and I'll see you at the zoo. What the hell are these things? I know the one on the left's a hippo, but these birds keep following me around. Okay, we're back in the car after the zoo visit. Now, you've seen a lot of the footage from the zoo thing, and I've probably done a voiceover for it, which is very, very cool. And yeah, it was a really great day. One of the weird things I learned, and you always learn something, particularly when you do the zoo tour on the bus, is that because it's dangerous for giraffes to drink water at water holes in Africa, giraffes have evolved a way around being vulnerable while they're drinking water. And that way is to drink each other's piss. So apparently, when things are looking a bit dodgy, giraffes do have a necessary kink to drink each other's piss and not feel any bad effects from it. So isn't nature wonderful? So anyway, I'm heading out from the zoo and letting these cars go past who have been to Werribee Park Mansion. Yeah, really good morning. Got in a lot of steps, saw a lot of things, got some really good koala shots because a nice zookeeper called Alan grabbed my camera basically and took the photos for me, which is very nice of him. Really nice people at the zoo. I'm incredibly glad that I can support them because the amount of conservation work they're doing and the amount of helping endangered species of things like antelopes and giraffes and southern white rhinos and things like that is amazing given the resources they have, which aren't enormous on the scale of things. And I just love the fact that I can go nearby, go to the zoo, pay a fee once a year and go as often as I like. I could go there every day because it's open 365 and just enjoy the ride around the zoo. I can check out the gorillas, I can check out the lions, I can check out the antelope. They've got 5 or 6 species of antelope and all the other animals, and just have a great time locally while helping out the wildlife people. I also bought some things on the way up. I got myself some coffee. They've got a special coffee they have that the money goes to helping wildlife preservation and conservation. So I got some coffee, even though I've got a ton of coffee at home, and a couple of other little bits and pieces. But yeah, good morning, well spent. So I'm going to sign off here. So thanks a lot for watching. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you haven't already, become a patron at patreon.com/TerryTalksMovies. I'm heading home and going to have lunch with a middle-aged geek girl who's currently got somewhere between a cold and the flu. And so I'm going to bring her something nice to take care of her while she is infirmed. So anyway, take care of yourselves and I'll catch you next time.